Hey gun people, well, here we go. New laws. We gotta have government take action, figure out what's going on here. This guy shot down a drone, which is a good thing in my book, but he got arrested. So let's talk about a few things as this goes on.
That was Sunday night around 8 off Earlywood Way in Hillview. William Meredith's daughter took this picture. Neighbors saw it too.
She looked up, she's like, there's a drone, and we looked up and it was just kind of hovering above our house, and it stayed for a few moments, and then she waved and it took off.
Kim Van Meter has a 16-year-old daughter who lays out at their pool.
Okay, we've got a juvenile leaving out by the pool, and we've got a guy with a camera looking over. Now, this is going to be one of those cases that's probably going to have to go to the Supreme Court, because the government does not want to give property rights any more rights. Okay, the government's not about giving rights, they're about taking rights. And the government wants to own the airspace. And if they allow us to shoot down drones who are taking pictures of us, then we can shoot down government drones that are spying on us and saying we thought it was taking pictures, and they don't want that. So this is going to be where the rubber meets the road on how many people really get upset and make their legislators say, you know what? These damn drones need to stay off people's private property, and they need to quit hovering, and if they do come on your property, you can shoot them down, because that's the only thing that's going to stop these guys. Otherwise, as a cop, I can't climb your fence and look over it. I can't jump and look over your fence to see if you're growing marijuana back there. I have to be able to see it from a road, see it from your front porch, see it somewhere where I am authorized to be. I cannot use a ladder. I can't get a ladder out of my trunk, walk over to your fence, put my ladder up, climb up and look over your fence, because that's not in the normal sight of the public. Therefore, I'm intruding on your privacy, and that's illegal. Any evidence I find will be suppressed. So this is no difference other than, we're not talking about government, we're talking about private citizens. Now, a private citizen can't climb your fence and look through your window to watch your little girl undress. But right now, the government is supporting that some pervert can fly a drone with a camera and hover in your backyard and videotape your daughter, and that's not a problem. I mean, it's just absolutely ridiculous, but government does not want to give up that airspace power and control over your house.
She says a drone like this one, hovering with a camera, is creepy and weird.
I think you should have privacy in your own backyard.
Damn right you should.
The same way, especially with two young daughters.
Is he looking at the girls, the young girls, or is he looking for something to steal? It's an invasion of privacy.
Absolutely correct. This could be used for intelligence gathering, for burglars, for planning a burglary, to see your system. They could be seeing what cameras you have. Crooks are going to start using these more and more. And what the government's going to try to convince people is they're going to make it illegal for people to use a drone for these, but they're not going to give property rights the right to shoot a gun. I can't believe they arrested this guy, man. Those cops are pretty freaking weak. And then you see some detective here justifying this shit here in a minute.
Said the drone went away and then came back and started hovering over his backyard. That's when he says he went inside to grab his shotgun.
I didn't shoot across the road. I didn't shoot across my neighbor's fences. I shot directly into the...
Great statement. Great statement. I'm shooting over my property, and the rounds, if I miss, are coming down on my property. I'm not in danger. That's the other thing that the government likes to pull, is if you shoot a drone and miss, where do your bullets go? You could hit someone else. If you make the drone crash, it could fly into this poor, innocent person, so therefore you can't shoot drones. Just live with it. Because as the government, we're going to want to use drones on your ass soon. It just irritates me, the double talk of government, and how citizens are just being railroaded with their property rights, privacy rights, gun rights, any constitutional rights. They're just chipping away at them.
There. And if he'd have just flown by my property, wouldn't have been a word said. But when he hovered above my property for more than a few seconds, I felt like I had the right to defend my property.
Police arrested Meredith, and he now faces 2 felony charges: wanton endangerment and criminal mischief.
Hillview Police.
City ordinance against discharging firearms in the
Look at this little weasel neck wearing his tie detective sitting back here, probably ain't been out on the road to get a donut in a week. Look, dude, I don't give a shit if there's a city ordinance about shooting. I mean, it's just freaking ridiculous. There's a thing called discretion. This guy's protecting his property, and a drone's harassing him and his 16-year-old girl. I mean, I can't believe the cops arrested him. They could have just went, you know what? We're not going to arrest you, but we're going to refer it to the DA, and if the DA wants to arrest you, then we'll let him. They didn't have to book them. Cops always have the option not to arrest unless there's a threat to the public or it's an ongoing offense, and we can just file a report with the DA and let the DA say, yeah, we want to prosecute this case, we want them arrested, we're going to issue an arrest warrant, go arrest them. I mean, they can do that, and the DA does it all the time. If they like the person, they don't even put on an arrest warrant. They send them a letter saying, hey, we're going to file charges, you need to turn yourself in, go to the jail, get fingerprinted, get booked, and you'll be released, saying that you're going to promise to appear. They won't even arrest you unless you're a freaking nobody or somebody they don't like. It's just, the hypocrisy just kills me. And this little weasel dick, wherever he's at, I don't even know what state he's in. But you're a punk sitting up there, oh yeah, we got to quote the rules. Oh yeah, there's a discharging of firearm in the city limits, so we had to arrest you, freaking pussy.
City, but the officer made an arrest for a Kentucky revised statute violation.
The owner of the drone told police it cost more than $1,800. According to the Academy of Model Aeronautics Safety Code, unmanned aircraft, like drones, may not be flown in a careless or reckless manner, and they have to be launched at least 100 feet downwind of spectator.
Okay, here, if this is the law and this is what they're going to be quoting, when you shoot down these drones, the thing you need to look at is, hey, this thing was hovering over my kids. I couldn't go out in the backyard. I was afraid this thing was going to crash, or if it ran out of gas or battery, if the guy lost control, he could cut my kid's head off. So now I'm living in fear on my own property. My kids can't even go out in the backyard for fear of danger that some idiot's running a motorized propeller that can cut their head off around here that the FAA has said is dangerous. Perfect. Okay, remember, when you're dealing with the government, you got to use their own words against them. You got to know how to word things in order to survive the legal system that the wrath they're going to try and come down on you.
The FAA says drones cannot fly over buildings, and shooting them poses a significant safety hazard. FAA spokesman Les Dorr tells WDRB an unmanned aircraft hit by gunfire could crash, causing damage to persons or property on the ground, or it could collide with other objects in the air.
No shit. It could do that if you don't shoot it. So why aren't you? Well, I mean, an idiot driving it could do that. You don't have to have a license to do it. This is government protectionism at its best.
A couple of minutes after Meredith shot down the drone, 4 men approached him.
And they asked me, are you the SOB that shot my drone down? And I said, yes, I am.
And what did they say to that? I mean, did you have your guns on you?
I was carrying, yes, sir, open carry. I had my 40.
You go, boy. This is my kind of man. Okay? This isn't the guy that's going to wimp out and hide and, oh, please don't come or I'm going to call 911 and I'm going to get my pepper spray out and pepper spray you. Good for you, dude.
Millimeter Glock on me, and they started toward me, and I told them, I said, if you cross my sidewalk, there's going to be another shooting.
Meredith says police let them take the drone, but never remove the SIM card for evidence. He hopes politicians take notice.
This agency was so freaking smart, they arrested him. And I don't know, I was yapping when you heard that. They didn't take the damn SIM card out for the evidence on what the guy was taking a picture of. Are you kidding me? You got a freaking peeping Tom using a freaking drone to do it, and you don't take the evidence of the SIM card to prove that he committed a violation. Why? Because he's a gun owner. He's an American. He's a patriot. He's threatening our government power, Rick. You got to understand. We're the law. We're the government. And you peon citizens that think you should have the right to question us and have guns and question our authority, we're coming after you. We don't care about the sexual predator that was taking pictures of your 16-year-old daughter, zooming in on her ass, taking close-ups. We didn't get the SIM card because that's not important. What's important is to get you crazy gun owners. Our freaking government is the biggest enemy of this country.
The drone, but never remove the SIM card for evidence. He hopes politicians take notice.
Because our rights are being trampled daily. And not on a local level only, but on a state and federal level.
Go, boy.
We need to have some laws in place to handle these kind of things.
Okay, so I looked up Texas law. Now, Texas is a little bit different, and we haven't been quite taken over by the liberal ignorance of the world, although they're working at it every day. You can shoot a drone in Texas because you can defend your property. And there's also a privacy right to where you can protect the privacy because somebody's videotaping you on your property. You have a privacy right. So civilly and criminally, you're going to be okay in Texas. But there's a lot of liberal cities, all your big major racial welfare, high black population, high illegal population, sanctuary cities like Houston, Dallas, Austin, San Antonio. I mean, all these cities, they got ordinance where you can't shoot a gun, you can't carry a gun. They're just liberal cities, feeding their ignorant, huge communities with their welfare crap. So, but most of Texas, which is out in the rural, you can shoot a gun. I mean, there ain't no, hell, a lot of my videos, you hear other people shooting out here around me. So in Texas, you're a lot more protected. Again, I'm not sure what state this is. I looked it up, but I can't remember now. Every time I watch it, this thing just irritates me.
And Meredith says the judge told him not to have any contact with drones or shoot any more down, and you can read more about...
I like the judge. At least the judge didn't say, I'm taking your guns, and, you can't... In California, I guarantee you, they said the judge would have ordered him to surrender all his guns, the police to go search his house to make sure he didn't have any more guns. He'd probably be given a restraining order from the guys that he shot down their drone because they were scared that he threatened to kill them, and because he had a gun, I mean, it would have been a total disaster in California. I don't know, but this judge at least had a little more common sense than the freaking cops that arrested him. I wish the judge would have went, you know what, release him, and refer it to the DA, and unless the DA wants to file, he's out of here. I'm dismissing. So, but, judges are political too. All right, so we'll end out there on drones and defending your property and trying to word things correctly so you can use the law in your favor. Remember, it's all about safety and fear when you use a gun. You have to get those in there somehow. You just can't be doing something silly like property rights, because that really doesn't matter anymore. I mean, the government owns everything. You don't own your property anymore. If you don't pay your taxes, the government takes it. The government just rents you your property. You pay your income tax, you pay your rent each year to the government, and it's called property tax, and if you don't, they take your property. So you don't own property. Another right that we lost in this country. All right, we'll end it there.